Hello everyone, my name is Carly Maslanik and I'm a senior art education major here at IUP. Today I'm excited to share a unique approach to language learning. This is learning language through art. We'll explore how art can be used as a powerful tool for this, particularly for elementary age students between 5 and 11 years old. This approach is designed for beginners or general art classes, and the goal is to make learning more engaging, interactive, and fun. We've all seen how kids light up when given a box of crayons or paint. Art is just naturally exciting, and when we connect it with language learning, we tap into students' creativity while enhancing memory and comprehension skills. So why does this method work? Let's dive into the rationale behind using art as a learning language tool. There are 4 key reasons why art is a valuable tool for teaching language: creativity and expression, cognitive development, fine motor skills, and engagement and retention. Let's break these down. Creativity and expression is first. When students use art to express themselves, they naturally connect language with visual representation. Instead of simply memorizing words for colors, numbers, and shapes, they experience them through hands-on activities. For example, rather than asking a child to list colors, we should ask them to paint an object using specific colors and to describe their choices. This makes learning feel like play rather than a formal task. Next is cognitive development. When students associate numbers and colors with artistic activities, they strengthen their memory and problem-solving skills. A child who struggles to remember the number 5 might recall it more easily if they first painted 5 red squares. This hands-on activity creates stronger, more neural connections. Next is fine motor skills. Art isn't just about learning, it's also about physical development. Coloring, cutting, and painting help young learners refine their hand-eye coordination. These activities may seem simple, but they play a crucial role in a child's ability to write, draw, and perform daily tasks that require accuracy. Next is, and last, is engagement and retention. If students are bored, they won't retain information. But when we incorporate real artworks and allow them to interact with the material creatively, they become more invested in the learning process. Imagine showing a classroom a painting by the artist Kandinsky and asking them to identify different shapes and colors within it. Not only are they practicing language skills, but they are also building an appreciation for art and for art culture. Now that we understand why art enhances learning, let's talk about the specific objectives for this lesson. The primary goal is to help students learn the name of 8 colors and at least 10 numbers, as well as basic shapes through visual and artistic engagement. To do this, we'll introduce students to specific works of art that show these elements in a clear way. Some of the featured artists include Piet Mondrian, Foxtrot B. This is known for his bold use of primary colors and simple geometric shapes. Next is Bart van der Lek, composition with 1 gray stripe, an example of using simple forms. Next is Mark Rothko, number 3, number 14, exploring emotional expression through color. Next is Joseph Albers, Homage to the Square, Unconditional, a study in color and their relationships. Next is Wassily Kandinsky, Bright Circle, known for his abstract use of shape and color. We will also explore Ferdinand Ledger, The Viaduct, and Patrick H. Bruce, Composition V. Students will analyze these works and identify different elements using language. For example, they may be asked to count shapes or describe colors using vocabulary words. The colors that they will be learning through these images include red, blue, yellow, green, purple, orange, black, and white. Particularly in Piet Mondrian's and Bart van der Lek's artworks, students can easily work on counting simple shapes and observing primary color schemes. Here are the artworks that the students will be able to observe and engage with during the lesson. The layout of the image correlates to the list on the previous slide. To reinforce learning and make it even more interactive, students will have the opportunity to create their own Piet Mondrian-inspired artwork. This activity allows them to actively engage with the concepts they've learned while enhancing their creativity. Here's how it works. Each student will receive a blank piece of paper divided into rectangles and squares, similar to Mondrian's famous style. They will then use primary colors, red, blue, and yellow, to fill in the shapes. While painting or coloring, they will practice identifying colors, counting the number of shapes, and even describing their artwork in simple sentences. For example, a student might say, "I colored 3 squares blue and 2 rectangles red." This reinforces both language and math concepts in an enjoyable, hands-on way. By the end of the lesson, not only will they have gained a better understanding of colors, numbers, and shapes, but they will also have a personal piece of art that they've created, reinforcing their learning so that they can also take it home to show their parents their progress in school. To further support this approach, let's look at the theoretical foundation behind it. The educational psychologist Jerome Bruner proposed that learning occurs in 3 stages. The first is inactive or action-based. This is learning through physical activity or hands-on experience. Number 2 is iconic, image-based, learning through visual representation such as pictures and diagrams. The third is symbolic, language-based, learning through words, numbers, and abstract thinking. For students aged 5 to 11, learning through art-based activities aligns with the iconic and symbolic stages. By using colors, shapes, and patterns to represent numerical and linguistic concepts, students gain a deeper understanding before transitioning into more abstract thought processes. Essentially, before they can write about something, they need to see it and interact with it first. This method reinforces understanding through visual representation, which is particularly helpful for students who are visual learners or those learning a second language. So, what have we learned? By incorporating art into language education, we create an engaging, effective, and memorable learning experience. We've learned how art can foster creativity, improve cognitive development, enhance fine motor skills, and boost retention. Through this lesson, students don't just memorize numbers and colors, they apply them in a meaningful way through analysis and personal creation. By making their own Piet-Mondrian artworks and hope that they have a visual representation of their learning experience that took place that day. Well, that is all I have for you guys today. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you're inspired by the strategy of learning language through art.